Welcome to the Business Spotlight podcast presented by the Lancaster-Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce. I'm Logan Weaver, the marketing coordinator for the Chamber. Thanks for tuning in today. Today we have Senior Vice President, Regional Retail Manager of Friendly Bremen Banking Center, Jodi Motta, joining us today. How's it going, Jodi?
Good, Logan. How are you?
I'm not bad. Jodi is part of our board of directors and very active in the community, so we're going to discuss a little bit about what Friendly Bremen Banking Center is, some of the services they provide, etc. So, Jodi, I guess we'll kind of dive right into it. So before we dive into the services and such, tell me, what is Friendly Bremen Banking Center?
Friendly Bremen Banking Center is a part of the Vinton County National Bank. So back in 2009, the Bremen Banking Center became part of the Vinton County National Bank. Vinton County National Bank was a national charter. Bremen Banking Center was a state chartered bank. And we all went under that national umbrella and became part of Vinton County National Bank.
You guys have branches all throughout the region, really, but here locally, Lancaster, Fairfield County, you guys are Friendly Bremen Banking Center.
Friendly Bremen Banking Center here in Fairfield County. So we have 3 offices. We have 2 here in Lancaster, one on East Main Street and one on West Fair, and then we have an office in Bremen. Now you will see traditionally the Friendly Bremen Banking Center names. That's very important to us. As a community bank, we try to stay local to the communities that we serve in terms of naming. So when First Bremen Bank was founded, we were First Bremen Bank. So it was important to us to be able to maintain that and remain the Bremen Bank. So we added the banking centers. And you also see VCNB Financial Family, which ties us all together. So when you look at our local names, again, we try to stay local to the community. So when you head to Ross County, you will know us as the Ross County Banking Centers. In Canal, we are the Canal Banking Center, and that was very specific to wanting to be, Bremen Bank actually opened that office back in 2002. And we wanted to be part of that Canal community, so it just made sense that we go in as the Canal Banking Center.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, as you mentioned, and we'll dive into it here more, that you guys are so deeply rooted in the communities. It makes sense to kind of reflect that in the names of each of the branches.
Yes. It does cause us some problems at times, but we really try to tie it all together again with that tagline as VCNB Financial Family. So anytime you see that VCNB Financial Family, you know you're banking with one of our offices.
You mentioned that community, obviously very important to the VCNB family of branches, and especially here in Lancaster and Fairfield County. Tell me about some of the things that you guys do and why community is a core value to VCNB.
So community is a core value of ours. It is what I feel one of our strongest core values and really the foundation on which our bank was built. So when you look at community for us, our core value states we will invest in the communities we serve. So as a community bank, we love to support community activities. We set aside hundreds and thousands of dollars every year that we invest in financial literacy for teenagers, in nonprofit organizations, and community development efforts. We're also involved with chambers, civic clubs, school fundraisers, county fairs. Those are just a few of the ways that we give back. But outside of spending dollars in the community, we do a lot with our own time as employees. So we have handfuls of employees that give back to the community throughout our footprint. Like you had mentioned, I do serve on the board of directors here for the chamber. So a lot of our employees are involved in such activities as serving on boards, coaching within schools, giving blood, doing just various different things that you can throughout the community to be able to give back. So it is very important for us to be, like I said, invested in the communities, to be involved in the communities, because when we are involved in the communities and we invest them, it just helps make stronger communities. And the other thing that you find with us too, as one of our strategies in staffing our offices is to find people who work and live in that community. And again, that just makes for stronger communities when we're hiring people that that you see when you're out and about, and as we're involved in different organizations that we're involved in, people know who we are because not only are we working in the community, we're living and we're out supporting.
And I know from a chamber's perspective, outside of you being on the board, I know you guys typically send folks through our Fairfield Leadership Program
We do.
and such. There's always someone new every year that goes through that program.
Yes.
So not only are they, from the communities, as you mentioned, that you live and work in, but they also develop in those same communities.
Correct.
So not only do they have those connections, they maintain and maybe even strengthen those connections through
Yep.
programs and, initiatives like that.
And that is we love the Fairfield Leadership Program. It's a great program for us to send young and upcoming leaders that we have coming into our organization. And it does just that. It helps them build connections within the community from a networking standpoint, from referrals, and just overall relationship building throughout the community.
So moving on to the next topic here, I know you guys do a lot of interaction with other businesses in town, and that's what we're all about too with the chamber, is getting folks connected, getting businesses connected with others. So kind of tell me about, from the VCNB perspective, how you guys connect and work with businesses here locally.
Yeah, so building strong business relationships is something that we take a lot of pride in. We find that where our strength is in being able to work with local businesses is that we are local in the communities. So when you come in to open that account with us, or you have a business need that we can help you with, you are meeting with people who are local, who are tied back to the community, and are very hands-on. So we will come into your business. We will help on site if you're having any type of, technical issues, things like that. But we also want to support you, and we also want to recognize you as a business. So very similar to what we're doing today, we like to highlight our business customers. So we do business spotlights where we feature customers of ours that have local businesses, and we highlight them in efforts to try to do our part to help support their business.
Boy, Business Spotlight seems to be a pretty common name, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's great, especially, folks love to work local. They love to work with local businesses and partner with that. And I know you guys are spread out through much of the region, really, being a network of banks. But really, as we mentioned before, having that community name, having those local connections really kind of helps further that connection with other local businesses in the community.
Yep. And we take pride in having local experts in all of our areas that are able to be there at any time. They can reach out to us, they can call us, they can email us, and know that we are going to get back with them. And if they have a problem that we can't fix over the phone, that we're coming to see them.
So another point here, you say that you guys aren't a sales culture. You guys are a needs culture. Kind of tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so what we like to do is we really like to take time to get to know our customers. So relationships is a core value of ours. And really what that relationship says is we will build trust by knowing our customers and providing financial solutions that meet their needs. So we do take pride in the fact that our customers really bank with our people. And why that's so successful for us is because we take the time to get to know them, and we listen for things that they may need where we can come back and offer a solution to meet that need. So we don't try to product push. We don't try to offer something that is not a need for a customer at that time. We are really just trying to, like I said, build that overall core relationship, and that works well for us. And our customers keep coming back. They have relationships, not just from a professional standpoint, but, customers come in, they bring their dogs in, we know about grandkids and sporting events and things like that. So our employees really take the time to cultivate good relationships with our customers.
I think you may have just sold some folks with the being dog friendly there with the bank branches.
We are definitely very pet friendly as well. So we love when customers bring in their dogs or come in to talk to us about anything that their kids or grandkids, anything like that, are doing.
What are some of the biggest needs when it comes to whether it's businesses or even people just looking for personal banking needs? What are some of the biggest needs that people usually come to Friendly Bremen with?
So a lot, obviously is your basic needs. Our business customers, we take great pride in being able to offer top of the line products, our technology, everything that larger banks would have, our bank offers, and we do it with local service. So we take great pride in that. And then another piece that we are working today to get help our customers and educate them is there's so much fraud out there right now and scams, and it's happening both on the personal side and the business side of banking. And it's probably ever growing. It's something that's going to could be a hurdle for both customers and us as bankers trying to figure out how to fight that. So we are working really hard to educate our employees on ways that we can educate our customers on how to take the steps they need to prevent getting in situations like that.
Yeah, especially in this day and age where spam texts, emails, I think a lot of folks this day and age have a pretty good understanding, especially with the way that some email filters are. I mean, I even get spam texts, but I don't see them because my phone filters them out. However, there are some that kind of sneak their way through the cracks and may look like legitimate things to where if their finances are compromised, it's good to know that folks like you and Friendly Bremen's banks are, there to help folks in need in those situations.
And what we're really working hard to educate customers on is that nobody is going to call you and ask you for personal sensitive information. And if that does happen, to reach out to the bank and to talk to us before they give out any of that information, because that's the biggest thing we see right now is that people are so sensitive and quick to give information out when they really shouldn't be doing that.
So let's dive into a little bit of the personal banking side. I know you guys have great relationships with businesses and such in town, but obviously some of those businesses, the store owners, maybe employees, obviously need needs with checking, savings, etc. So what are some ways that you can help on the personal banking side of things?
Yeah. So at Bremen Banking Center, we offer all of the products that you would find at larger banks. We can help you on the deposit side in terms of checking accounts. On the savings side, we have savings accounts, money markets, CDs. I do want to add that this past spring, we rolled out a Community Champions account that we are very proud of. And what that does is that recognizes anybody that is serving in that first line. So teachers, anybody in the military, firefighters, police officers, nurses, anything there. And that is a completely free account. And it has some special perks tied back to local businesses within the community where they can get discounts on items for purchase in those stores.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the Community Champions one. I have seen that promoted a time or two throughout the community. So I think that's a really good service, especially for, when people think of like the first line, they think obviously police, firefighters and such, but they don't often think about the EMTs, the nurses, or even the teachers.
Teachers are in there. So if you're tied into the school district in any way, not just teaching, working at daycares, things like that, you can be recognized as a community champion and kind of our version of just recognizing local heroes.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, especially in this day and age, post-COVID, where such an emphasis was put on schools and the nurses and, hospitals, et cetera, in the districts, to where being able to reward them for what they do and be able to recognize them with something even as small as that, I think is a tremendous service to offer.
And like I said, it ties right back into that community core value.
Now, you mentioned that you guys offer a lot of the same services as some of the bigger banks, which I think a lot of folks, they may want to lean towards a national bank just because they're everywhere across the country, but you guys can still offer that same service here as you could traveling in California or whatever.
Absolutely. And in today's banking, it's changing every day. But technology has changed the whole face of banking. So with everything that's out there in terms of being able to do mobile deposits, Zelle, being able to have your app loaded to your phone and looking at your accounts, making transfers, we have all of that. Our technology is top of the line, and it is right there with all of the larger banks. So being able to do all of that makes it convenient to where you don't necessarily our bank doesn't necessarily have to be in your market to be able to be our customer.
Now, I do have personal experience with Zelle myself, and I will say that you guys being able to offer it's really cool because basically it kind of works like some of the other online services where you can transfer money, but the difference is there's really no fee when you transfer from yourself to maybe another friend who has the same, Friendly Bremen account.
Yes.
There is no fee to transfer that.
And it is more secure than maybe other services that are out there because it is tied into your bank's network and it's on their security system, their security. So in terms of being a little bit more secure and not a full third-party app in itself makes it a little bit more secure for customers to use.
Yeah, so being flexible as a community bank, I think, is very important, especially in this day and age. As you mentioned, technology has advanced so much, and it's constantly evolving. You guys could find something new tomorrow, even, that you guys could offer. So,
and our ATMs, we have smart ATMs. You can make a deposit of cash. You can deposit checks through the ATM. Soon we'll be upgrading with some new technology with debit cards, that type of thing. So just ATMs alone have come a long way and are much more advanced than what they were when they first came out.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Jodi Motta, Senior Vice President, Regional Retail Manager for the Friendly Bremen Banking Center, part of the VCNB Financial Family. Jodi, thank you so much
Logan.
for coming on.
We appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Alrighty. You've been listening to the Business Spotlight podcast presented by the Lancaster-Fairfield County Chamber of Commerce.